Ballistic shows that not only was the vehicle connected to the homicide, not only was the vehicle identified as being the getaway vehicle of the homicide of Jobina Brown, but he was also found in possession of the firearm that was also used in the murder of Jobina Brown.
They did not give him the rundown. Like, bro, you probably don't want to have your phone with you. You probably don't want to stay in that same car. And you definitely don't want to keep the weapon you used to murder someone.
But you do got a lot of motherfuckers that go to the internet and think that everything they see on that bitch is facts. It's not a place for facts.
Clock in, clock in. Black Gotta just walked in. Team Black Gotta stand up, man. Yo, we back with another video with Tee Grizzley regarding the passing of his auntie in 2019. Now, questions are all over the place, and I didn't want to be the first one to put my input on this situation due to the sensitivity of this whole thing, and I just can't fathom how people are so quick to put Tee Grizzley under the bus. But wait, hold up, this situation just got a little bit sticky. I'm seeing a lot of information that's making me feel some type of way, so right now, I don't know what to assume. I'ma just gather up the information we could gather, and we'll see what we think at the end of the day. So there's a story going on around the passing of Tee Grizzley's auntie. Now, it's not clear to me if this is really his auntie or this is just his uncle's wife. The story is low-key a little bit all over the place, but I'ma just assume that this woman is actually his uncle's wife. And I'm not gonna be the one to say Tee Grizzley backdoored her in the sense of her losing her life, but he for sure backdoored his uncle, because I don't think he's denying the fact that he actually slept with his aunt. And as a matter of fact, that's what's being talked about in court right now. The fact that they had an intimate relationship.
But about 7 years ago, Tee Grizzley lost someone publicly referred to as his aunt. Whether she was blood or not, that's still up for debate. But some say it was through marriage. But what we do know is that she was tragically gunned down while riding in the Uber. And by some twist of fate, Tee Grizzley had gotten out the same car just minutes before the shots had rang out. Now at the time, everything seemed off, but nobody had real answers. Then about 2 months later, a man allegedly tied to one of Tee Grizzley's groomsmen, a man connected to Lil Durk, someone tied to him from his same neighborhood in Chicago, Illinois, which we'll later discuss, was arrested in connection with her murder. Since then, the case been cold in many people's eyes. And yet, Detroit police still have an open $2,500 reward for more information. And that alone tells you everything ain't fully closed on this. But what if I told you that was just the surface? Because what I found out while digging into this court transcripts and trial updates and federal paperwork, found me get deeper, way deeper than what people may expect. Pause. Now there, as of now, has been whispers that she might have been pregnant, allegedly, by Tee Grizzley. And that wasn't even his blood aunt. But all that is he say, she say to this point. Because still, Grizzley called her his aunt. And that's what the world ran with. Not to mention he was signed to her, which some say is a clear motive.
Now that we established that there may have been an intimate relationship with Tee and his aunt, now we need to really look into this dude that got caught for the crime. He go by the name of Wu-Tang, and he's actually a 600 member who's kind of tied in with OTF, which is what making this situation look extremely crazy. Now, before we get into the fact on how unsmart Wu-Tang is, we got to wrap our heads around the fact that this was Tee Grizzley's aunt / manager. You dig what I'm saying? And then Tee Grizzley kind of linked up with 600 Buka after all of this stuff happened. And the real question in the air is, how in the heck somebody from Chicago get to Detroit to touch his aunt? That is the most confusing thing, and it's confusing to me, bro. Like, I'm dead lost while we watching all of this stuff. Like, I'm trying to piece everything together myself. I'm trying to make it make sense, because at this particular moment, it makes none. But let's watch a video explaining the indictment and what led to Wu-Tang's arrest.
The police was able to trace the getaway vehicle, which was a blue Nissan with the license plates HRK 4937. They traveled to Michigan the day before, and then 2 hours after the homicide, they traveled to Chicago. The vehicle was a rental car, so when they didn't return the vehicle after the homicide, Hertz Rental reported the vehicle stolen. Even though the vehicle was reported stolen, even though the vehicle was involved in a homicide 2 months prior, Wu-Tang was still driving around Chicago in that vehicle, knowing how hot it was. Well, he was parked in an alleyway one night, October 19th, 2019. He was parked in the alleyway. the police pulled up because they ran the tags and they seen the vehicle was reported stolen. They attempted to initiate a stop. He ran away. He was eventually caught. He was ultimately arrested and charged for being in possession of a stolen vehicle. But get this, and this is where you really start to look at these dudes like, yeah, y'all are just professional doofuses. So on top of being caught in a stolen vehicle that was used in a homicide 2 months prior, he was also caught with a firearm. And after ballistics was done on the firearm that he was arrested with, ballistics shows that not only was the vehicle connected to the homicide, not only was the vehicle identified as being a getaway vehicle of the homicide of Jobina Brown, but he was also found in possession of the firearm that was also used in the murder of Jobina Brown. Ballistics shows that this was the firearm that killed Jobina Brown.
Now, bro, I know you was lying. You gotta be telling an absolute lie. Are you telling me not only did this man have a rental car, he also had a firearm, then decided to drive all the way back to his city in the same car with the same firearm, probably with the same clothes and drawers on? At this point, looking at how this situation has turned out, I don't even know if this was a backdoor situation. This seeming more like a crash out situation, because there's no way. It's either he didn't receive a payment or them boys gave him like $200-300 to get the job done, or this man just crashed out for whatever reason, or whatever inside beef he may have going on with Tee Grizzley specifically. But when I seen this specific information right here that we're about to see, is what makes me really question. He gotta probably really be a little slow.
Wu Thing kept his phone on the entire time he committed this homicide. I don't know what I would expect from someone who was still in possession of the getaway vehicle and the murder weapon, but he kept his phone on the entire time, and they were able to trace him coming into Michigan and leaving Michigan after the homicide. But they were also able to pin him at the crime scene. And this is why Tee Grizzley's story don't make sense at all. The cell phone towers pinged Wu Thing's cell phone at the murder scene for more than an hour and 56 minutes. So it started pinging around 7 p.m. and continued pinging until 8:56 p.m., which is minutes before the shooting occurred. That means that Wu Thing was at the murder scene for an hour and 56 minutes. He was at the murder scene for an hour and 50 minutes before Tee Grizzley and them got there. So he was hiding out. He was waiting. He was expecting them to come to that location.
Yo, now if y'all got this boy here to do something that he can't take back, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Y'all might as well just start packing your stuff up and get ready, get prepared, because there's no way. That's very questionable. The fact that he was there for almost 2 hours prior to Tee Grizzley pulling up is really confusing. It raises questions no matter what you say. Like, T can't even be tripping about this, because like, yo, this is looking wild. This is looking like set up activities. What was he doing there for 2 hours? Just by seeing what type of person he is so far, by getting caught with the same car and gun, like, he had to been probably playing Roblox or something on his phone the whole time, just waiting. Like, I don't know what he was doing, because he was just posted up. And whoever could have got him to do whatever he did, if somebody got him to do that, they did not give him the rundown. Like, bro, you probably don't want to have your phone with you. You probably don't want to stay in that same car. And you definitely don't want to keep the weapon you used to murder someone. Am I tripping? Or did he just kind of set himself all the way up? Am I tripping? As much as we may want to beat around the bush, we got to be honest about the situation. Seeing that is making me feel like there's holes in Tee Grizzley's story. It's making me feel like Tee Grizzley's story wasn't all the way authentic. And I was already thrown off due to the fact that Tee Grizzley was telling a heartfelt story. And I could admit, some people don't want to be emotional while they talking about an emotional situation. Some people want to get their mind off it. But you know, Tee Grizzley's demeanor while telling the story, it gives me he either been through a whole lot of death in his life, or this was just a situation, you know, he was just trying to get past. But his story kind of stated that he just made a random pit stop somewhere, and that somewhere was a specific place that this dude had been waiting for about 2 hours. And not only did he wait about 2 hours, he came all the way from Chicago, and on top of that, his aunt didn't even want to walk in the house. Now, his reasoning on her not wanting to walk in the house is because the house was dirty. It sounds reasonable because I don't want to go in nobody's dirty house either. But it does raise questions. Did she think the house was dirty? Or was she just feeling the energy was off from the jump?
Instagram. Yeah, so we was at the studio with Guapo and Jay Swan or whatever. And I'm going over my cousin's house, my older cousin. Mm-hmm. He was real close with my pops, just like my pops' brother. Mm-hmm. And I always try to, you know what I'm saying, show him some love because that's another wound we really ain't healed from.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I went over there and I was telling her, like, come in the house. And she like, no, I don't want to go in. I'm begging her to come in the house. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain areas, you just can't, you got to move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about where you at. I could go anywhere I want to.
Right.
But I got to move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm moving right, can't nothing happen to me. So I'm telling her to come in the house. She like, no. Because JB was kind of like funny acting about dirty houses.
Okay.
And stuff like that. The house wasn't even dirty, but to her, she just a clean, real clean person. Okay. It's like, no, I don't want to go in them people's house. I don't want to sit on their furniture and all that stuff in there. I'm like, all right, I'll be right back. So I'm knocking on the door. My people's taking so long to come to the door. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they finally come to the door. As soon as I see her, as soon as I see my auntie, mm-hmm. She about to open the door. I hear a whole bunch of shots going off. You know what I'm saying? Behind me. I hear a whole bunch of shots going off. So I get down because I'm thinking they about to come to the side and start, you know what I'm saying, shooting at me, and I ain't got nothing on me at the time. Mm-hmm. My cousin ran out with a gun. I'm like, perfect. So we ran out on the street. When we ran out, my driver was gone with no cars out there. I'm like,
She was in the. So what was the vehicle? She was in the car. Like
yeah, she was in the car. She was in the car.
Okay.
She was in the car on the street. So my cousin ran out with the gun or whatever, and we ran out in the front to see what's going on and to, if somebody up on us, we gonna get them off us. So once we got outside, once we got in the front where they was at, my driver gone. There's no cars out here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wait. Let me ask you this. So, was you had to enter through the back door or something?
Yeah, I went
side door. Okay, I get you. Okay.
But basically, I don't even know what's going on at this point.
Okay.
So we in the front, we looking. I look in the street. I don't see no glass in the street. So I'm like, oh, they straight. You know what I'm saying? That's probably some. I didn't even think this had nothing to do with us.
Okay.
You feel me?
Right.
But my cousin still came out there with the gun though. Mm-hmm. So I was cool with going out there. I'm like, I ain't see no glass in the street. I'm thinking they heard some shots and pulled off. Okay. So now I'm mad now. Like, y'all heard them shots, why would y'all leave me over here?
Right.
You feel me? You could at least call me and told me, like, it's too much going on over here. Come on, we gone. You know what I'm saying? That my driver ended up calling me, like, and told me what happened. So basically what happened, they walked up to my door and opened my door. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas opened my door trying to get at me. He ended up hitting her up.
Now, everything about what Tee Grizzley said could be questionable, but everybody can't really get all the answers right, because, like, at the end of the day, nobody was really there. And then you just gotta kind of wait until the story really unfolds. But what I can say is, whatever you say, you gotta stick to it. Because once you go to saying things different from what you previously said, you automatically raise everybody's red flags. So I'm kind of hoping that Tee Grizzley would keep this same story. And I don't want to believe that Tee Grizzley would set his aunt up, especially after hearing all the good things he had to say about his aunt, being the fact that she was the one who financially helped him in his career at the beginning when nobody else wanted to help him. And on top of that, she kind of stuck with him through this whole process. Now, I'm hearing they had a situation where a lot of his stuff was signed in her name. I don't know how true that story is.
This is why Tee Grizzley backdoored his auntie. When Tee Grizzley first came home, he dropped his hit song, First Day Out. But due to debts T owed to the government, he made his uncle wife, JB, which some will say is his auntie, his manager, and made her make and fake label, and signed himself to the fake label, so all his music would be under JB name. But by the time Tee Grizzley got rich and paid off all his debts, he was ready to put all his music back in his name. But JB was refusing to sign the papers to give T his music back. So T would pay 600 buka to have someone from his side to kill JB. So on August 20th, 2019, T and JB would both link up, and when T would get out and walk in the house, 600, Wu-Tang would pull up and shoot JB 8 times as T was walking in the house.
Nah, it's real different when ChatGPT is out here trying to predict what happened that night. That's just crazy work to me. Tee Grizzley ended up responding to him possibly being, you know, a suspect in this situation.
I just think the niggas about to go around trying to clear no shit up because it is what it is. As far
Thing you just heard, okay?
I just think the niggas about to go around trying to clear no shit up because it is what it is. As far as like, you know, I ain't about to be certain shit you can't entertain, bro. Especially when it's absolutely nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But you do got a lot of motherfuckers that go to the internet and think that everything they see on that bitch is facts. It's not a place for facts. You can see some shit dead in your base chat that's not true. So you think you can't be fooled by the fucking internet, bro?
I ain't gonna lie. Tee Grizzley does have a valuable point. There's a lot of stuff on the internet you will see, you probably think it's facts. Whole time, it's a fabricated story. The intensity of this whole situation is tough. Then I'm knowing it's hitting hard for Tee Grizzley because this story is sensitive in a way and people are just blaming him. But I hope he could understand that certain things he said and how the story is turning out does make it seem a type of way. Nobody knows if it's 100% true or not. Only thing people can say is it seems like it. But for the most part, I guess we'll just turn around and see as the situation develops. I gave y'all the main key points of this whole thing. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. All right, guys, we got VOTD, man. Make sure you put WVOTD in the comment section below if this the verse you needed to hear. Don't worry, I am with you. Don't be afraid. I am your God. I will make you strong and help you. I will support you with my right hand that brings victory.